G'day all, it's Colin from PCTLC and thanks for joining me. I'm in the desktop of Hackman Linux, which is created by Ben Fitzpatrick. Thought we'd have a look around, do an install of this one and see what it looks like. The only thing I've noticed straight off the bat is there's no videos folder, so I'm expecting probably more than likely after install that might be there, so we'll see what's going on there. So let's get started on the install. Just double click the hack button. And it's the Calamares installer. American English, next. Australia, Perth. So this should be no different to the Endeavour OS install that I did. Right, so we'll do a manual install. And let's edit that. Now that should be already correctly formatted. This is currently my Arch install that I've got here, so I'm going to wipe that off. We'll format that and we'll create boot FI. It's got boot and ESP there, which is good. Got a swap partition there, and we'll edit that one. Format that ext4. That'll be the root partition where the operating system is installed, and that should be it. Well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that one and delete that one, and I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to create that as 61440, the normal 60 gig size. Make the mount point root. It's GPT. No need for boot or ESP, so let's click OK on that one. And the free space I'm going to use as a data partition. So there will be no mount point at this point in time, so we'll just use the defaults there. And let's go next. Use the same password for the administrator account was already checked off, so I'll use that as default anyway. And that all looks good. Let's install. Alright, so it looks like there's a bit of an error there on installation, something to do with creating the new partition. So okay, let's see if we've got gparted in here. Yes, we have. Let's make the partitions up first in gparted. So let's delete that, we'll start again, apply that. So let's make a new 512 megabyte. Actually, let's cancel that and let's just view the device information, GPT. Okay, I'm happy with that. So let's go a new 512 FAT32. Add that, and then another new one. We'll make that 61440 ext4. Add that. And the new one again, leave that default because we're using the rest of the disk, and we shall add that. Apply that. Okay, so that's all seems to be working well. It's mounting the volumes. And I had to close each window as it come up there. Close that, and then I'll go back to here and manage flags, and we'll do a boot ESP for that. Close that. We don't need to apply that because that applies straight away, as you can see under flags, boot ESP. And then we shall try the install again, and hopefully a bit more successful this time. So I'm not going to format because it's a brand new format, so I'm not going to bother doing that. And this one here, we'll edit that. We're just going to add the mount points for these two, which is what I've done. And we'll go next. And next. And that all looks good, and that's install. So that is Hackman Linux installed, and all went well on the second attempt. I've noticed this is a bit of a trend with Calamares installer, whereas you are best to use gparted and set up your disk prior to installing with Calamares. Otherwise, it may have some issues. So that's the sort of... I've been using Calamares a lot lately, and they're the sort... That's the sort of issues I've noticed popping up in most Calamares installs, is the fact that definitely gparted, set up your disk first and then run it, and you should be fine. So that was the install of Hackman Linux, and we'll come back into the desktop and have a bit of a look around once I reboot. Here we are in the desktop of Hackman Linux after a reboot. Now the first thing I want to look at is the home folders, and we don't have a videos folder. So I think the first thing we need to do there is update the folders, and I learned how to do this in Arch, and I've got it down in my notes, so we'll do that. It's xdg user dirs update. And hopefully we have, and there's still no video, so that's interesting. Alright, so what we'll do is maybe create a videos folder and see whether that updates with the little depiction in it. So let's try that command again. Yeah, it didn't update that though, did it? Alright, maybe after a reboot, I'm not sure. So let's check what we've got going on here. We have an exclamation down here. I'm not sure, it's Package Manager. So I'll left click on that. And that's the PAMAC Package Manager 6.4.1-1. And we have quite a few updates, total download size 1.2. So maybe the first thing I'll do is update, and then maybe that might fix the files in here. So I'll delete that video for now, move to rubbish, and apply the updates and see what happens after that. Okay, a bit of a warning message there on Hackman Linux after the update is complete. So directory permissions differ on root file system. Okay. Don't see that being an issue. So it looks like, I don't know why the theme has changed there, but the wallpaper has changed as well. This seems to be a common thing happening in an Arch base. I did Endeavour OS, it changed the wallpaper to exactly that, and so has Hackman Linux, so that must be what it does. So I'm going to stop there and do a reboot, because I think it's better off to do a reboot. So that's updates complete, reboot done, and now we're back into the Hackman Linux desktop. Now I have to check out on the internet, what have we got here? Chromium. Now I'm not sure if this shortcut was up here before. I didn't notice it if it was, so it must have been. Just wanted to check the Hackman Linux website to see whether there was anything talking about the missing videos folder. I don't remember seeing anything on here before. No, so I can't find anything on that. Now if I go to, if I Control H to show hidden files, and we go to .config, and this one here, okay, that took quite a while to open. I don't know what's going on there, so we need to open with Text editor. So that's what it's missing. It's missing videos there. So that's what's missing, is in that file there. And let's save that. And then we shall do an update. Alright, so we still haven't got videos showing, so I might actually do a log out and a log back in and see if that sorts it. I might just double check that file again to make sure that that update stuck and I saved it correctly. Config. And it didn't save. All looks good there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, to be honest. Save the file and run that command again. And for some reason that does not want to. Alright, so I'm not an absolute expert at this, but we'll see whether we need to maybe create the folder first and then try it from there. So I don't know whether that needs to happen. Save that and then run our command. Okay, so there's no errors happening there. That's still there. So I'm going to do a reboot and see what happens. So I've just done another reboot. We shall look at the home folder. Let's just hide those hidden files. And there we go. We got the depiction there of videos. So I had to create the folder first. That's what I was doing wrong. So now we've got the videos folder there. So I think Ben must have forgotten to, must have slightly missed that there, which does happen, I suppose, when you're doing these things with an operating system. And what he's done already is pretty amazing anyway. All right, so let's have a look around the system. We've got a weather in here, Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, I think I'm a long way from home there. So let's go to properties. Let's change that and do a search for Perth. Find Perth, Western Australia. Yep. Go to units, inches. I want millimeters. Feet, I want meters. Fahrenheit, I want Celsius. Pound, I want, I don't know which one. I think it's HPA, I think. I'm not sure. I don't take notice of that stuff. Appearance, simplistic, liquid dark, simplistic. Okay, that'll do. Got a calendar there. No, we've got a mail. What's that one there? Properties, mail watcher. Okay, I haven't set my mail up. PAMAC is there. Package manager. So all is up to date. So PAMAC 6.4.1-1. Not a bad looking theme anyway, bit of purple. So let's have a quick look at what's in the system. So we'll go to accessories. Got a text editor, Thunar, Vim. So Redshift is in there, Play on Linux, Kvantum Manager, I'm not sure how you say that one, Compton as well, HP Device Manager. Under games you got Steam, Native and Runtime. I'm not sure the difference between those two. I don't really use Steam much, to be honest. GIMP, GPIC, Inkscape, Nomax, Simple Scan, Internet, Chromium, Mumble, Pigeon, Steam again, Telegram, Thunderbird and Transmission. Audacity, multimedia, we got Audacity XFelso, edit tags in your audio files. Haven't heard of that one before. Normally I use, what do I use? I can't remember the name of the one I use, but it's definitely not that one. You've got Handbrake, Kdenlive, MPV Player, OBS Studio, Pulse Audio, Simple Screen Recorder, and VLC. Now, I honestly can't remember whether I put Simple Screen Recorder in or it was already in there. Document Viewer, Abbey Word. So there's not much under Office, so that gives you a choice of which Office you want to install, which is good. because there's plenty of options out there. You've got WPS, LibreOffice being the main one. Just depends on what it is that you need. And we got settings there. We got AR&R, Advanced Network Configuration, Window Manager Tweak. So they're all the settings that you'll find in the standard settings of XFCE anyway. We've got Add Remove Software, which would be the PAMAC, I'm assuming. Let's check that out. Make sure it is. Yep. Bulk Rename, Deconf Editor, Gparted, HTOP, VirtualBox, Play on Linux, Software Update, which also should be PAMAC. Yep. Oh, but that's Updater. Okay. Task Manager, Thunar File Manager, and a few terminals. But you've got the main XFCE terminal. So let's have a quick look at HTOP. What are we running? 808 megabytes. There's no swap in there. I didn't, or did I put a swap? No, I didn't put a swap. Let's check that out again. No, there's no swap. Check the desktop settings and wallpapers. See what we've got in here for backgrounds. Just a couple of simple ones. So what could we do there? You can choose the folder if you wish. So you could probably go into your pictures folder and you could add some pictures in there. So if I went to network and downloaded some pictures from there, Pair OS. I remember I was using Pair OS. Let's copy those over. Let's copy those over to pictures. Paste that, and then we could go to, wait till that loads. Desktop settings. We could choose other, go to pictures and Pair OS and open that. And then we've got some backgrounds to choose from there. Well, we don't really want a Pair OS background, do we? So let's use a generic one, which will be that one. Just use a pair. So what I'm going to do is do what I did with Endeavour OS, just in case. And that would be a sudo, and then sudo make swap, mkswap /swap file, and then swap on //swap file, fs tab, arrow down to there, then we /swap file, hit the tab key, none, tab key, swap, tab key, defaults, tab key, 0, tab 0, and Control O and enter to save, and Control X to exit, and that should take care of our swap. So if we do htop and check that out, now you see I've got 8 gigabytes of swap available to me if I need it, and that's not an actual, that's a swap file, not a swap partition. Let's close that window. So we've got quite a few things installed on here. Now let's have a quick look at the settings, and then we go to settings. We got appearance. So let's check out the appearance here. Obsidian 2 purple is using in here. We do have arcs, adapter, which is always nice. Adapter white, adapter Nocto ETA. I don't know what the difference between those two are, just a slight height difference there by the looks of it. Icons, we have a lot of different obsidians there. Oh, we've got Papyrus as well, so that's handy. Always handy to have Papyrus. That's the ePapyrus. So there should be another Papyrus down here. Papyrus Dark. So always like the Papyrus icon themes. It's always good when someone puts them in as default. Go back to all settings and we'll go to Window Manager. and we've got a whole heap of different ones here. We've got adapter there. And a heap of different different ones here. Redmond, Arc, Arc Darker, Arc. So adapter's always a good one anyway. So I'll stick with that. Not sure about some of these other ones. Arc Dark. Yeah, I think that's an XF. Once XFCE updates, then it'll probably, because Arc Darker should have a white box in here, I'm pretty sure. So that's sort of not working as it should be in the XFCE desktop. But once they move over to, I think they're moving over to GTK3, I think it is. So once that happens, we should find that those ones should honor the theme a lot better. I don't know what the let's go back to that one there. Let's close that. I don't know what the Kvantum thing does. I've never used that. Can certainly have a look, but Kvantum comes with many themes, but external themes can also be installed for being used by it. Here you could choose a theme folder and then press the button below to install it in your home. So I'm assuming, I don't know, that maybe you have to download some themes. Let's have a look at this, application themes. Okay, so I shouldn't have done that, should I? Change, delete theme. Oh yeah, we've got some themes here. Okay, so maybe this is where the themes are being managed. Adapter there, which is what I'm using anyway. I don't know if it's got Arc. No, it doesn't. KV Arc. Used. Oh, you got to use this theme. Is that how it works? Oh, so use this theme. Oh, okay. Adapter, use this theme. Okay. So I need to probably look into this Kvantum a little bit more. KV Gnomish. Okay. So there's definitely plenty of options there when it comes to theming with the Kvantum installed there, so that's pretty handy. If you don't like all these generic names here, you can also change that in the properties. I don't like the way they put the arrows in here. So let's see if we can change the theme back to whatever it was. What was it? Yeah. Okay, so that looks a bit better. Let's go to properties. So show generic application names. Show application descriptions. Uncheck that. So generic names, and you've got... So generic application names, when you see VLC, the generic name will be a media player, rather than the specific name of the player itself. And this one here, MPV, multimedia player. So if you uncheck that, then it will be the generic names, which will be down the bottom here, VLC. And if we go to MPV, so that's the difference there. So in the first Hackman Linux, we had some issues where we needed to put on boot, would bring you to the login screen, and you had to put, I think it was, you had to choose the XFCE desktop and then press enter without a password, I think it was, whereas this one was logging in directly, so that was a much better option than the first one. So the themes are not looking too bad at all. So it's XFCE. You can pretty much theme XFCE any way you want. But what Hackman Linux has done is provided you with a solid Arch base, easy install, and a lot of things installed out of the box to get you going. So as we can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'll just see if I can find desktop settings. There is, what did we have before? We didn't have backgrounds, I don't think. Oh, Hackman Linux, there's the Hackman Linux wallpaper. It did disappear, but it was in there. So I just thought I'd show you how to add a folder into there. But Hackman Linux, that's his desktop. And I should be running that one. So Hackman Linux has provided many things in here. It's got the main menu to update the menu if you need to use app images or anything like that. And you know, he's provided the Steam games and all that, Inkscape. So he's got a lot of things out of the box to provide you with a good desktop experience straight off the bat under Arch. And then you can just go from there. All you need to do is choose an office suite that suits your use case. Let's just increase that and see if we can get just about everything in the screen so we can see. We also have XFCE. I like the way XFCE manages the sound and the audio here. It's quite easy to maintain. Instead of digging into the settings, you've got an easy selection here for what's connected to the system, so I really like that. Media player here is not currently playing, so it's recognized that media player was open. You got the audio mixer selection down here, so that's pretty good. So a good lightweight XFCE desktop out of the box for Hackman Linux with plenty of applications to get you going, plenty of themes installed as well. You might want to have a look at Kvantum to see if you can get your themes going, or there is the standard appearance in the XFCE settings. So I don't know if they conflict with each other or not. I'm not quite sure how that works. And just on the little shortcuts up here, we have File Manager, Web Browser, Mail Reader, Add Remove Software, Software Updater, and the Terminal. So if we have a look at uname-a, I think it is, we're on the 5.2.7 Arch, which of course is rolling, so you'd have to think that this will keep up with the changes made to XFCE. And I've got my swap there, 0% used. So that is a very good XFCE Arch-based option with many applications out of the box to just get you straight up and running. So that was Hackman Linux. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.